Other news. Nintendo clarifies the cost of physical games is not going up following the decision to charge different prices for US physical and digital Switch 2 games. Let's see, let's read the original story and then the update. Nintendo has announced that it will now charge different amounts for digital and physical copies of the same Switch 2 games, beginning with next month's launch of Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Yoshi was previously announced with a digital price of $60, which remains in place today for its digital version, but its physical counterpart will now be sold for $70 at the full, with extra 10. In a statement issued months ago, Nintendo said that its highest price point, which for physical games simply reflects the different costs associated with producing and distributing boxed copies. Beginning in May of 2026 and starting with pre-orders for Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, Nintendo published digital titles exclusive for the Switch 2 will have an MSRP that is different from the physical versions. Do y'all have a problem with this? This is nasty work. Nintendo games offer the same experiences whether in package or digital format, and this change simply reflects the different costs associated with producing and distributing each format and other players more than the choice. You do? More expensive to own your copy? I don't like that. I gotta give a little bit of pushback just because I could have swore people wanted the digital version of games to be cheaper. Because they're not lying. It is cheaper to just upload it to the servers versus actually producing a cartridge. Now, if the cartridge doesn't have the game on the cartridge, that's a good point. I could have swore this was a conversation like 5 years ago, plus, that people feel like digital games should be cheaper. If the game is on the cartridge, it does cost more to put it on the cartridge, ship it out with the boxes and stuff like that. But I mean, wasn't it always the same price? Yeah, and that's what people were complaining about, right? That it was $70 whether it was digital or physical. Well, now they're saying if you want a cheaper version, you can get the digital, but if you want to own it, you got to pay the $70 for the extra materials that it requires. I'm just confused because I see y'all complaining. I know for a fact this was a conversation that people felt like digital should be cheaper. I don't mind physical being more expensive. I think this would be a bigger deal if the physical was like 80, 90, $100. But an extra $10 and it's still at the 70. I'm not gonna lie, this doesn't really bother me. Now, if you want to make the argument, maybe you feel like the digital should be cheaper, I'll accept that too. Like make the physical 70, but then the digital is 40, 45 maybe. But I'm not gonna lie, this doesn't really piss me off. 1000% this was a conversation with the intro of the Game Pass. I know I'm not bugging. Because a lot of people felt like, oh, they didn't want to go fully digital because you might lose access to your games. But if you do, at least make it cheaper because you're just uploading it to servers and it's not like the physical. Let's see. Then Nintendo released an update statement saying Nintendo has issued a statement to IGN in response to our inquiry about the Switch 2 gaming pricing change. Following confusion regarding whether this was Nintendo effectively concealing a quiet price increase by making physical Switch 2 games more expensive, or if it was in fact the Switch 2 digital games getting cheaper. They said the cost of physical games is not going up. This means that when Nintendo sells digital versions of Nintendo published games exclusive to the Switch 2 to consumers in the US, those prices will have an MSRP that is lower than their physical counterparts. Retail partners set their own prices for physical and digital games, and pricing for each may vary. So they're saying if you go to GameSpot or GameStop, it still might be more expensive, but they're saying if you get it from us, you know what you're getting in terms of price. I'm not gonna lie, this one doesn't really bother me. Digital should never cost the same amount as physical. I agree with that. I do think digital should be cheaper. You don't fully own the game. You don't have a physical copy, especially in this day and age where, fuel right now, 20% of the world's fuel is being cut off because of y'all president. That's driving up the price of everything. Because, you need fuel to move these things around in boats and planes and cars and stuff like that. This stuff costs money. What if you pay $70 for the game that becomes abandonware due to server shutdowns like Anthem? They still got to figure that out. Yeah, you're talking about live service like multiplayer games. Yeah, I feel that. I'd argue whether you buy the digital or the physical, if they shut down the servers, you're not going to be able to play the game regardless. So I don't know. I don't know what to say on that one. But wouldn't the convenience of buying digital, wouldn't it be a reason to hike up the price? No. Why would you hike up the price because it's convenient? It should be the opposite. It's less work for them, less work for you. Well, yeah. Let's see how this one plays out. Now, I can understand people being mad, and correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Isn't the price of Switch 2 games $70? So, like, they didn't increase anything. I think what the issue was before was that Nintendo was like, yeah, digital will be cheaper. It'll be 80 and physicals will be 90. They must have backpedaled. But what's the issue, though? Because what you're talking about is $80 and $90 across the board is cheaper, whether it's physical or digital. Maybe I'm misinterpreting this, but I just feel like motherfuckers complaining on this one. If you want to get a Nintendo game, it's cheaper digitally, but it is going to cost the full 70 if you get a physical. Yo, shout out to Big Mac with the $20 super chat. He said, why do you think sports games haven't seen more competition by other game studios? I feel like the popularity of these games and how these companies like to chase the new trend, I'm surprised the selection is so small. Well, with basketball, I think EA is so concerned about money, they're scared to make a new NBA Live or a new basketball game, period. So 2K has an unfortunate monopoly, not because they own the license, but they just own the market. It's a licensing issue, definitely with boxing, because boxing is so convoluted. Madden, they own the exclusivity license, so that's why you're not going to get American football games other than Madden. Soccer, EA had a monopoly on it with FIFA. There are other games. They're just not good. I'm gonna be honest. You got the eFootball game. That shit is ass, ain't it? Didn't Konami put out some bullshit too? So there's some competition some places, but other places is not. I feel like the arcade space is more open. There's the NBA The Run that's coming out. Hopefully that game is good. Why can't they just make another Ready to Rumble? So then you don't have to worry about license. Well, you gotta look at the market. Like outside of millennials, who's asking for Ready to Rumble? I love Ready to Rumble, but I'm being 100% honest. Who's asking for Ready to Rumble? MLB licensing too. Yeah, I think Sony has the exclusivity for MLB. Konami is the eFootball. Oh yeah, I heard that shit is ass. You said all 16 of y'all. Yeah, so you also got to be worried about like what's the market demand. I think in terms of sports games, the only thing that there's a market demand for is like a new street style game, NBA Street. There's definitely a demand for a different type of wrestling game, like Fight for New York type shit. There's demand for those two types, and then there's definitely a demand for a new basketball sim. So some of it is licensing, but then also some of it is a lack of demand. You gotta remember, just because you want it doesn't mean as a whole people want it. I think. I didn't like Ready to Rumble the first time. Ready to Rumble was cool, but like I think it lacked replay value. It was a game that was good for its time that I enjoyed, but I don't know if it will really hit for today. Aren't racing games technically sports games? Yeah, thanks to Jeff Keighley, putting it all together. So I mean, if you want to throw Forza in there, but that's not what people traditionally think about when they talk about sports games. There's a crowd-funded wrestling game, but it's been in but the development has been slow. What's it called? I've never heard of it. If only Madden could leave EA and do a better football game. Well, that ain't happening because EA locked in the exclusivity license for the NFL. So, and there's also been football games that people have tried to do without the NFL license, but I feel like you need that license. I mean, look what happened with NBA The Run, right? Remember when they first announced that game a year ago, it was called The Run the Streets or some shit like that. And I said on my stream, yo, that name is fucking terrible. You guys need to go get the NBA license and just call the game The Run. And a year later, they did that. Somebody watches my stream. I'm taking credit for that shit. Somebody watches my stream from that dev team. No, The Run Got Next. Yeah, it was called The Run Got Next. Somebody watches my fucking stream because they did exactly what I said to do. I was like, that's good for a branding standpoint. Yeah, I need 10%, nigga. I would say EA could bring back EA Sports Big and SSX, but I remember the last time I did that, In 2012, EA added microtransactions. That's another thing too. Y'all thinking about all these great games from your childhood. Do you really want SSX to come back so they can charge? Look what they just did with Skate. If they bring back SSX, that shit is gonna be a free-to-play open world snowboard game where you can go anywhere in Aspen. Anywhere on Mount Fuji. But it's gonna cost $20 to get a blue board, baby. I'm good off that, man. I'm good off that. Some bullshit ass mechanics, man. The wrestling game is called The Wrestling Code. Let me see. The Wrestling Code game. Is there a trailer? Let's see. Huge.
What's going on, everybody? Kenny Bomb is in the building, and the last thing I has not been canceled, and this is
I know gameplay. The Wrestling Code. This wrestling game is not dead. The Wrestling Code intro roster size revealed. Everyone confirmed. There's no gameplay for this. This guy Kenny Bomb is holding it down for the Wrestling Code community. He's the one making the videos. My favorite sports
So
game
it looks like the Wrestling Code
Sports.
might not be dead after all. Virtual Basement came out on Twitter to answer everybody.
Don't waste your time. We still trying to figure out if it's a scam or not. Say it ain't so. I'm down for a new Def Jam as long as it's not Fight for New York. Yeah, agreed. It can't be like Icon.
Concerns about how the Wrestling Code
Not gonna lie, this is like a tech demo chat.
Shut down and it's over because
This one
their
over.
trademark has actually lapsed. Well, this
Oh no, they don't got the name.
is what they had to say. The Wrestling Code is alive and in development. The trademark status being shared is simply a routine renewal. We've been heads down finishing contract project for a publisher, while the Wrestling Code remains a self-funded passion project. Quiet by choice, more to show. And then they had a video where they showed that they took down the ceiling when they were doing motion capture, and that's pretty funny. Are we back? Did the Wrestling Code come back? Is it back from the dead? I don't know.
If this is the gameplay chat, I wouldn't get my hopes up. Did you watch the new episode of Invincible? No, I forgot it came out. I need to watch it though. I need to stay on top of this pop culture shit. What happened to the game with Sauce Walker that was making? They still doing AI prompts trying to get that shit to work. Meta and YouTube lose social media addiction lawsuit. California jurors have found YouTube and Meta, the latter of which owns social apps like Instagram and Threads, liable in civil court for getting a young adult woman addicted to social media and impairing her mental health. According to a March 25th CNN report, the jurors have decided that after a 7-week trial and more than 8 days of deliberations, Meta and YouTube were negligent in their design of their platforms, knew their designs were dangerous, failed to warn users of the risk, and caused substantial harm to the plaintiff. Brought to the LA Superior Courts in February 2026, the civil lawsuit accused the social media giants of intentionally hooking the plaintiff as a child onto their apps, which caused her to develop anxiety, body dysmorphia, and suicidal thoughts. The trial has now come to a close with a hefty price tag. The company must pay a total of $3 million in compository damages. $3 million, sheesh. While an additional punitive damage could also be awarded to Kaylee. The now 20-year-old plaintiff and her mother. Meta bears 70% of the responsibility for the harm caused, with YouTube fronting the other 30% of the bill. Facebook is the devil. That is a fact. That is a fact. You say, ain't no way. This gives me hope, bruh. These algorithms are the devil. This shit gives me hope. Low key, and some of y'all are in the chat. You little bitch ass niggas that got sucked into the red pill algorithm during COVID. Y'all might want to file a civil lawsuit because a lot of y'all are fucked up in the fucking head. Yeah, I said it. This actually is a case. You got to keep in mind, these algorithms are designed, you like one video and it sucks you into a rabbit hole. And the unfortunate thing is a lot of these communities, even like a subsection of the gaming community, is a pipeline to the alt-right. And these algorithms know it, but they don't give a fuck because the only thing they want is to keep you on the app. So they keep serving you this content, bruh. Now, is there a certain level of responsibility there? Sure. But these tech companies are aware that they're manipulating people, and that is why she probably won the case. Don't be surprised if more of this shit comes out, to be honest. He said fresh and fit about to catch a face. Hey, sue all them niggas, man. They've done more damage than you would realize. He said, you know, you are not wrong. Some of y'all don't have an actual opinion on anything. You have a fucking TikTok opinion and you don't even know it. You hear talking points. And you know, you can tell when somebody don't have an opinion because the moment you push back on a bullshit ass belief, the robot starts fucking malfunctioning. We lawyering up. So hey, think about it, man. Are you a single desert dick ass nigga in the chat who can't get no hoes? Did fresh and fit ruin your life? You might want to consider filing a lawsuit, man. There might be some. Look, shorty got 3 million, dog. Got 3 million. These companies are willing to pay these because they are pennies compared to the money they're raking in. Exactly. Also, keep in mind, these CEOs don't allow their children onto these apps. Why do you think that is? You are being manipulated, bruh. Social media has done a lot of harm to political discourse because it keeps people in bubbles, spreading misinformation, and there's no repercussions for it. At most, you might get community noted on Twitter, but then the problem with the community note is by the time some misinformation or a straight up lie gets community noted, it's like 24 hours later. The shit is already spread. It's got 10 million plus views. Next thing you know, that person is telling their mama and their uncle and their cousins, and they're spreading as if it's real information. This stuff is dangerous, bro. This stuff is dangerous. Yeah, echo chambers galore. What's the solution for it? 100%, because we can't all sue. I don't know, but this stuff is dangerous. I've been a YouTube premium user since it was called Red, so do I get a little refund? All right, bro. Call Top Dog Law. Social media gave a bullhorn to the village idiots, and we need to get back to shaming them. I'm curious to see if more stuff like this plays out, but I just wanted to share that one because I thought it was interesting. The billionaire kids have a different Instagram without the harmful algorithm. I ain't wearing a tinfoil hat. Well, they probably don't have social media, period. If you were a billionaire's child, why would you be on Instagram? You just be doing shit, flying around in helicopters and shit, bro. A lot of people also don't have the skill or refuse to learn it of doing unbiased research of the things they see online. Yeah, and that's why I said there is a certain level of accountability, like as an adult, but you also can't downplay the way society is definitely setting you up to fail. Like I watched a video earlier about it was like 3 fat people versus 3 in shape people debating whether or not obesity is a choice. And then obviously the ones on the fitness side were talking about it's not a choice, you're just lazy, this, that, and the third. And like, I'm kind of somewhere in the middle on that topic because like, there is a personal level of accountability with the type of food that you put in your mouth and you taking care of your fitness. But then I also think there's some level of truth of you also have to take into consideration that society has, at least in America, has set us up to fail. And it's like, at what point do we stop pointing the finger at just the fat people that are a victim of the system, and we also look at the fat cats that are lacing their pockets from these billionaire companies that are fucking ultra processing all our goddamn food? Because I can't stress enough, get a passport. When I went to Malta, I lived in Malta for a month to shoot a TV show, and I lost 15 pounds doing nothing. In America, I cannot eat cheese. In Europe, I can. That was one of the moments I had where I was like, all right, bro, something's going on over here, bro. I lost 5 pounds in Japan and I ate whatever I wanted. Something's going on. So I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. I lived in Germany for 3 years and the food was a different standard. Look at Texas, no sidewalks and everyone drives picks up. There's a certain level to it. The truth is somewhere in the middle, man. You got food deserts as well. And people might not have the money to transport to the other side of town to get where the good food is. There's a lot of different moving elements. But anyways, just some food for thought. That was like a food version of the algorithm. Like there's just so many systems. And if you overcome the systems, whether it's the algorithm on social media or these food companies trying to poison us, hey, bravo to you. I'm trying to do my best as well. But I also think it is important to take into consideration that there's a lot of there's pedophiles in the fucking White House. There's a lot of things to take into consideration, man. We literally got ingredients in the foods that are banned in provinces in the other part of the world. No, that's real, man. That's real. Not allegedly either. In more lighthearted news, Forza Horizon 6 PC requirements revealed, and it looks like it continues Forza Horizon 5's well-optimized legacy. So let's see, the recommended specs: a Core i5 or an AMD Ryzen 5 with a 3060 or a 6700, 16 gigabytes of RAM. And then if you want to run it on high, it's recommended have an i7. You don't even need an i9 or a Ryzen 9. So this is pretty much going to be able to run on everything. The recommended is an i5. That's impressive. I said the one, as much as I hate the Ramageddon and the GPU shortage, the one good thing to come out of the Ramageddon is it is going to force these game developers to start optimizing their games much better, because we can't afford to upgrade our PCs and our consoles every goddamn week, every year, I mean. So figure out how to make your game run, bruh. Forza games are always known to be well optimized. Yeah, you could tell from these stats this shit's gonna be optimized. That's good to know, man. Does VRAM always matter for gaming or no? On PC, yes. That's your GPU, how much your VRAM has. But the more intensive the game, the more VRAM you'll need. Other news. Pokemon Champions is releasing on the Nintendo Switch console in early April, but its free to start package raises some questions about its pricing model. A lot of y'all were asking me about this the other day. I didn't even know this game was coming out. So then I was interested when this article came across my timeline. 2026 has started, but Pokemon's 30th anniversary has already given us a winner in Pokemon Penis Pokey something. The announcement of Wind and Waves, and even more reveals. But we're also not done. Yesterday, the Pokemon Company announced Pokemon Champions. Oh, so they just announced it. That's why I missed it. And it will try to evolve the video game franchise's competitive scene. On the 24th of March, the official Pokemon website outlined the release plans for the Stadium-like spinoff, which is targeting Nintendo Switch and Switch 2, as well as mobile phones. It looks like it'll only descend on the hybrid consoles on the 8th of April, though with a mobile release coming later. As previously stated, the game will be free to play, and Nintendo Switch 2 players will be able to download a free update to the game that allows you to enjoy the action with even clearer graphics. Free to play is, that's gonna raise an eyebrow there. Cause you mean to tell me niggas can just pay for the Mega Charizard? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I like that. Just thought about the gym comment and looked up what companies have investor groups tied to both fast food and gyms, and Flynn's came up in the invest. Yeah, they create the point I was trying to make, and this is why I say people need to think on a deeper level in this era where people say it's not that deep. We're living in a society where people are creating the problem and then giving you the solution, and people are falling for the trap. Like an example being in that same video I watched about the weight loss stuff. No, it was a different video. I lied. This lady was talking about her journey on Ozempic and how like she put on all the weight back. And she was saying the doctor said you need to stay on it for the rest of your life. And I'm like, that's crazy. So the fat cats took money from these corporations that poison our food, allow them to do whatever, ultra process, get us fat. And then they created the solution with these GLP-1s, and you have to stay on it for the rest of your life. But a lot of people are just looking at it like, oh man, Ozempic is cool because it's an easy solution. No. It's a trap. It's a never-ending cycle. It is that deep, chat. It is that deep. But back to the Pokemon, man. Where we at? Of course, Pokemon Champions has to make money somehow. So both diehards and casual trainers have been curious about its freemium model. Pokemon captured in Pokemon Go and Scarlet and Violet and Legends can make the jump to Champions through the home service. Pokemon Go players, however, will not be able to transfer their creatures into the new service via home. Okay, sounds simple enough, the first, but here is that Pokemon Home already has its own set of limitations if you don't use the paid premium plan. So you have to pay to store the Pokemon? Yeah, I was never suicidal. What? Like being able to store more than 30 Pokemon or move them from the bank, which is a big deal if you're seriously considering the competitive side of Pokemon and exchanging your favorites between the different supported games. Okay, let's assume you're fine with that and go for the cheap 12-month plan, which is only $15 at the time of the writing. Move to Pokemon Champions Rewards and Membership section and you'll be greeted by a Battle Pass, a starter pack that raises Pokemon limits in boxes from 30 to 80, and then Championships membership allows players to keep even more Pokemon and battle teams around the time. My thing is like how, because I'm not gonna lie, because this was free to play and I do have a Switch 1, I was like, maybe I'll stream this because I'm not playing Crimson Desert. And I'm waiting for Pragmata. This is a Pragmata waiting room. But I completely lost interest in even trying this game. I was like, maybe I'll blow the dust off the Switch and try this game out. I don't want to play this shit. I'm not paying $15 just so I can store my fucking lineup. Bitch, store it on the fucking memory card. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. New prediction. You remember you remember a few like a week ago when I was talking about the WWE community and how they're getting tested with VC and these microtransactions, and don't fall for the trap. This is an open book test. Do not support it. Do not buy VC because the game is going to get worse. This is the same thing for the Minish Cap Mafia. I would not support this. I'm going to be honest. If you do play this game because it is free, stick to the free model where you can keep 30 Pokemon, but do not pay the $15. This is a fucking trap because it's going to start at 15. First of all, why does it cost $15 to store 80 Pokemon? Like, what's the logic behind that? Like, why did nobody question that? Shofu said he's going back to Showdown if it's ass. Yeah, this shit is a scam, and they're gonna jack this shit up, bruh. I don't trust the Minish Cap Mafia on this one. Yeah, especially after they said they wasn't gonna buy the Switch 2, and then they broke records with that shit, bruh. I don't know, man. I don't know. Can't even store the original 151. Say it ain't so. Oh shit. That's why I never liked Nintendo. The Minish Cap Mafia. That's what we call the Nintendo niggas, bruh. And don't you dare criticize Nintendo. Them niggas will hang you, not by a rope, but by a GameCube cord. Them niggas will. Matter of fact, I would not be surprised if somebody from the Minish Cap Mafia snuck up behind me, like looking like, what's that nigga from? What was it? Majora's Mask? What was it? Dingle or something? What was his name? The little elf. That look like Keemstar with the Minish Cap. Tingle? Yeah, Tingle. Don't be surprised if at any point of the stream, Tingle pull up on me, jump up with a GameCube controller, wrap it around my neck and try to get off me, nigga. Get off me. Luckily, he a little nigga, so I just fucking throw him over my shoulder, hit him with some jujitsu or some shit. But that's what the Minish Cap Mafia look like. Who's ready to play some Nintendo games? Who cares? It's not on the Switch. Grand Theft Auto 6, who gives a fuck? Let's play fucking Zelda. Let's play Twilight Princess for the 30th time. God by Tingle is crazy. What the fuck up, dog? Yo, shout out to Bryce with the sub. Appreciate it. You ever seen the white niggas movement? Yeah, that shit is fucking funny, bro. And what is it? Them white niggas love that deadlock. They love that. Yeah, bro, I'm gonna load into deadlock. That shit is real, bro. That shit is fucking real. Hey, them white niggas love them patch notes. Like, hey, who make them videos? He funny as hell. Shout out to him. He is funny. Because he don't mess with that shit. But you know what? So like, a matter of fact, before we get on the game, what else I got for you? Oh, I got this shit. Before we get on the game, let me bring up let's see. White niggas love deadlock. I'm going to use him as an example to be super woke. Because here's what he's talking about, bro. Wow, who got the link to the video, bro? Who got the fucking link to the video? Oh, here we go. So this dude right here, well, this isn't the original poster. Whoever's making the original videos, he makes videos like this where he talks about white people and what they like to do in video games. Why is it?
Woo, boy, them niggas love this shit, boy. They can't never get off this shit. This shit like Valorant in its second form. They can't get off this shit. Yeah, dude, hold on. I'm on deadlock right now. I'll get on after. Saying that, nigga, them boy love this shit. Valve, actually, they just...
Is this his actual TikTok? They love that deadlock. Oh, is this it right here? Let's see. But what the fuck is all these videos? Where the gaming ones at? Does he just upload random shit? Stop the red arrows. We never gonna stop the red arrows on YouTube, bruh. I need a caption for like a video game one. The white boys love that deadlock, bruh. White niggas love Chuck Norris. White people love mods. White niggas love the state of play. Hold on, I'm gonna look at all this shit. White niggas love ranked. They love the realism. I'm gonna click on all this shit. I haven't seen these ones. Hold up.
Hey, don't fuck with white niggas when they watching the state of play. But them niggas will skin you, boy, if they miss a game that they been looking forward to on their motherfucker, boy. Them niggas don't play about that state of play, folks. I'm telling you. What?
Actually, that joke is a great example of what I'm about to go super woke on y'all, right? So it's not a theory. I have a PhD in comedy. That's why I've been doing this full time for 14 years. Shout out to me. So when it comes to comedy, me personally, I think you can make a joke about anything. I believe in dark humor. I believe in race jokes. But I will say, when it comes to certain levels of comedy, in my opinion, the lowest form of comedy is physical comedy. People who just act like fucking idiots, like that type of shit. When you start getting into the more cerebral levels of comedy, with the dark stuff, the racial stuff, the political comedy, the religious comedy, you can do that stuff, but understand that's the highest level, so you better stick that fucking landing, right? So like, I've always had this theory when it comes to comedy, that one of the reasons why white people usually, not always, because I've heard some good race jokes from white people, they're usually professional comedians. I'm talking about people online. The reason why people in real life and online, white people, usually don't get away with racist jokes is because they're not rooted in truth. A good joke is a half truth. And these videos are an example of what that shit is. He's saying these white niggas love that state of the play. And what did he specifically say? He said they will skin you if you don't announce what they want. He's not lying. They will skin you in the chat if you don't announce Bloodborne at the fucking state of the play. There's truth in the joke. White folks love that deadlock. The problem is, a lot of times when white people make race jokes, they're not funny because you're just making shit up off of some bullshit ass stereotype that's not true. But this is why he's been able to get away with these jokes. I've seen him going viral. It's because the jokes are rooted in truth. There's some truth to it. So I hope people understand, you know, just because you're the funniest in your class doesn't mean you're able to do some of these fucking jokes, bro.
Well, white niggas love mods.
They love
that
mods, bro.
Shit. Yeah, I just got Fallout 4, but it's like modded to high hell, so I can do like whatever I want in it, saying that, nigga. I have like a modded cat in the game and just says the N-word the entire time. It's fucking hilarious.
Your comedic takes are top tier in truth. It's because I watch a lot of comedy.
Boy, them white nigga love ranked. Man, do not let these niggas find out you.
And then he's showing examples too. It's nothing but white boys on the thumbnail getting ready for ranked. It's the truth. That's why it's fucking funny, bro. And it's lighthearted. I think you can tell from his delivery. There's no malintent behind the joke. That's another problem with white folks a lot of times when they try to do race jokes. Not only is it rooted in some bullshit stereotype that's not true, it's low-hanging fruit, but the delivery is very malicious. There's nothing malicious behind this delivery.
Playing competitively, boy. Them niggas, boy. Yo, what rank are you? Yeah, I just got iridescent last night. They'll say that shit like it ain't shit. Yeah, I actually have a duo. My buddy, he was in the army.
Gary Oldman's be on point. They be on point.
White niggas love that realism. That nigga got that shit in all caps. Look at the damn thumbnail, boy. He let you know that shit bare bones, boy. That shit gridiron, boy. That nigga one man all ass shit. The hell, boy. This nigga think.
Anyways, y'all get the point. I'm glad I could use him as an example. I hope people understand. Because for some reason, I remember growing up, I don't know what it is. I don't know if this is how kids think now, but when I was a kid in middle and high school coming up, have you seen, I can send you the link to this channel. When I was coming up as a kid, I repeatedly would hear from like my classmates that never talked to me. It'd be like their first time talking to me one-on-one. They'd be like, yo, you're a really smart dude. And that shit used to always like, it didn't offend me, but it would take me back. Cause I'm like, yo, what do you think a good comedic, A good comedic is very observant. That's what comedy is. So some of the most intelligent people you're ever going to meet are funny people. Unless they do physical comedy, which, like I said, in my opinion, if they do cerebral comedy, stuff that makes you think, they're usually very intelligent and observant people. If they do the physical shit, nah, that could be 50-50. I don't know how kids are now, but I remember I used to always get my intelligence questioned. There's levels to this shit, chat. There's levels to this shit, bro. Wait, do the movement one, please. I can't find it, bro. Who got the link to the movement one? I think that's the one that made him go viral, right? The white niggas love that movement. Who got the link? Yeah, he's got 1 million fucking videos on his goddamn page. And then you got goofy niggas. You speak really well. You'd be surprised at the inability for people to describe what's happening. Let's see. White niggas love movement. And nothing comes up. And nobody got the link in the chat. Let's see. Most popular. Let's go to most popular. Honcho. Oh, there it is. Boom.
Boy, white niggas love movement, boy. White nigga love those movement mechanics. Dude, this game has shit fucking movement mechanics, bro. I'm getting off. Sad that nigga, though. They gonna love that shit. They can't play without that movement, boy. That game can have everything in it, bro, to go goddamn game of the year, bro. If you can't slide cancel on this shit, hey, them niggas is not playing your shit. Hey.
Yo, this is so funny. It's funny that we talking about white people shit. I swear to God, this is a total coincidence. My girl just tweeted me some shit. Somebody turned me into a white person. Hold up. I'm going to send it to myself so I can show it on stream. 1 second. Let's see. DMs. I'm going to DM myself. Somebody pulled a JG on me. Like, talk about a crazy coincidence. 1 second. My girl just sent me this shit. All right, so I responded to Drewski's skit. I said, you're on Facebook now. If you haven't seen it, he's making fun of Erica Kirk. And then I was making fun of white people right here. And then somebody turned me into a white dude, bro. I need to turn that Grok protection shit off. I am not white. The white cock. Hey, do he not look like, hey, I like that movement, man, in fucking Titanfall 2. Definitely like that movement. Look like Los Polos, bro. I'm actually about to save that shit. That's fucking funny, bro. Fucking Giga Chad. Total coincidence, by the way. Look, that's 634. Fucking that just got posted. That's fucking funny, bro. Last but not least, before we move on, I gave y'all my education on comedy. This got revealed today as well too. Eyes On animator Travis Howe was just announced that a team has been formed to present a proposal for a Jak and Daxter remaster or remake for Sony. He just uploaded the animation showing that the hypothetical remake what it would look like, and then this is what it looks like.
Okay, I'm fine. Man, that stung! I told you we shouldn't have come here, and you listened! What?
Daxter look a little sus. I feel like it can look better. I feel like the animations lose a little bit of the charm.
Okay. I'm fine.
Yeah, there's a new Drewski skit. But from my understanding, because if you click on the original post, that post presented it as if there's a potential Jak and Daxter remake going on. But if you read the original post that they're quoting, this was just done by a fan and they presented it to Sony, but it doesn't state whether or not Sony was interested in it. Because like there's the post right here. A long while back, a team was assembled to pitch a remaster for Jak and Daxter. I was asked to animate an IGC shot for shot to show what this updated version would look like. To be abundantly clear, this was not commissioned by Sony, nor did they have any involvement in our proposal. This was essentially a fan pitch to try and gain their permission. Although the remaster wasn't to be, I'm really proud of how it came together. There is no Jak and Daxter remake or remaster coming out, guys. And this is why it's important to read, because this person is spreading it as if it is. And now you got a bunch of people in here super excited. But no, this was just a quick demo that somebody put together to show Sony. But it's not coming. It's not coming, unfortunately. What the fuck? Yes, and new Drewski dropped. If you want the link. It's making fun of Erica Kirk. Hold up, let me look at my replies. Yeah, that easy clickbait. How conservative women in America act.
War is raging in Iran.
Point of view, your husband just died.
The soldiers and troops.
That's great that you're praying, but
How about all the kids that died when the USA hit the towers?
It broke my heart. That is the
Once again, this skit proves my point as well. See, when white people do blackface, it's rooted in stereotypes and stupid shit that's not true. The reason you can get away with doing this is, first of all, whiteface is not a thing. There's no historical context behind whiteface. And the fact that a lot of white people in America don't understand this shows you how the school system has failed us all. Second, another reason why you can get away with whiteface is because this joke is rooted in truth. That's why it's funny. He's making fun. I swear I could do a whole thesis and breakdown explaining comedy to people, bruh. You can get away with this because this is what fucking Erica Kirk did. That's what makes it funny. But I'm gonna get off this video because I don't want to get assassinated by the iCountry. I'll drop the link to the full video if you want to watch it though. If you want to hit them with a like, I'm gonna drop it in the chat. I'm gonna use the bathroom because I'm ready to get